I don't know if this is going to help. This is just a suggestion to Bassmaster, to the commentators, and to the people who talk on Bassmaster while the tournament's going on. I hope this helps. Maybe I'm completely wrong on all this. I haven't talked to anyone about this, never brought it up with anyone. I might be the only one in the boat with this. But here's my take on maybe what might make this bass fishing and watching it a little bit more interesting, and I don't know. So hear me out. Kind of goes back to 10 Killer. I was watching 10 Killer and it's a little bit different, right, when live scope's not involved. Here's why. So I live scope quite a bit, and I fished for 20 years without it. And so I understand, I think I have a really good grasp on it, okay? So I'm not this hater or non-hater or any of this stuff. I just have my own opinions about it. I'll leave them aside. What I'll say about it is this. I view it a little bit about how I do YouTube videos on sight fishing. If you're in the boat with me while we're sight fishing and we're doing our thing, I will bet every bit of money every single time that anyone gets in the boat with me, because this is 100% of the time. Anyone that's ever been in the boat with me while we sight fish, if you're like, man, I hate it, and we do it. We do it on certain fish, not the easy ones. We do it on certain things, and I show you things, and you can see what's going on. I promise you leave my boat going, that was one of the most interesting days on the water I've ever seen, I've ever been a part of, I've ever got to witness. I got to see things that I've never thought of before, seen before, or anything like that. The problem is, on YouTube or on video, it's not that great. And the reason it's not that great is I can talk you through it, but you visually can't see it. It's impossible to see. So I don't show that much sight fishing on YouTube, but for that reason. Live scope's the same way, unless you're recording the video, right, on your screen, which I have done before. Some people hate it, some people whatever, whatever, I don't care. I'm just trying to show y'all, at least give y'all an idea of what I'm looking at if I do that. I still don't do it that much, because right now, if you put that stuff out there, you're still gonna get some hate for it. When I was watching 10 Killer, and I was watching on day one, Jason Christie was on video, he was live. And he was talking it out. He was talking out what he was doing. He wasn't talking about the screen. He wasn't talking about this. He was talking about what was going on in his head. What was going on in his head and what he thought was going on. Now, he could have been right. He could have been wrong. It didn't matter. It was interesting to listen to the way he thinks. On my private channel, I still try to do certain things, and I feel like sometimes I don't give him everything, and yet I get back and all the comments are the same. Hey man, I like when you put the videos of fishing, I like all that. Doesn't matter. We want to know what's going on in your head. I agree with them that that's what I want to know, but it's still hard for me. Like my private channel guys still say, we just love the fact that you talk us through what's going on in your head. I gotta agree with them. That's what I wanted to listen to Jason Christie. Even if he's not right, even if things don't work out the right way, listening to him talk what was going on at 10 Killer with the knowledge he had is invaluable, even if it didn't work out. Now, as live was going on, I can't tell you how many times I would be watching him and he'd be talking. And two things happened. One, someone talked over him. Listen, man, that's one of the few times, just let it roll. If Jason Christie's talking, let him talk. I don't care what he's talking about. Just let it go. Let it happen. You got that many hours on live. If he wants to talk for 20 minutes straight, don't get off of him. And here's why. A lot of other guys didn't talk. Or they're not talking on what's going on in their head. They're just kind of talking because it's live. And they're live. They're like, hey, we're live right now. and they gave us a recap of what happened. I don't know. I want to know what's going on in their head at the moment. When I fish, there's not a single moment that I'm not thinking about something like the future. Like how far am I going to go down this bank? Am I going to switch it up? Do I need to change right here and there? Like, what is that thing right there? Like, trying to put all the pieces together. Jason Christie did a phenomenal job of that. There's a couple fishermen that do a phenomenal job. It's not all this just talking to be talking. A lot of guys do that. That was number one. You've got to do a better job of staying on guys like that. You don't always have guys like that. I know there's 100 guys in the elites. I haven't listened to all of them talk. I will say, this isn't a knock, but it seems when you get away from forward-facing sonar, they do talk more. They just do. I'm telling you, the reason I say this is for the same reason I talked about the sight fishing. They're seeing stuff on the screen, and they can tell you what they're seeing, but it doesn't matter because we can't see it. Okay? When you're talking about something in your head, about what you're thinking, it's different than what you're seeing, right? You're thinking about all these different things. I think that that's better for viewership as far as the fishing goes. Like, what's your next moves? What are you thinking? Why you might change? What you're going on over here? Different, like, you get to see some of the motions of catching fish and losing fish and things like that. That's all good. But the talking from the fishermen is the best. Commentators, please, 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 don't talk over those guys. And don't, like, he would be talking and the camera would go to another fisherman. I get that you wanted to get more people on there. I'm just telling you, I don't know if that's a good thing as we move forward, if they're not going to talk and if they're not going to be entertaining. And entertaining isn't jumping around doing dance moves. That's not entertaining to me. That's just goofiness. It's the other stuff. I think that's why we watch. If you catch a fish and it's real emotion going on, that's different. Now, for the other side, for the fishermen, this is some advice to you, okay? There was a point in time, I can't remember who it was, and this isn't a knock on them. I'm trying to let them know, and this is a very hard thing to do. I get it. It's a very hard thing to do, but I've seen it over my channel. When I started my channel so many years ago, I wanted to do this like weird thing where it was me and Hallman and Andrew Upshaw, and we were traveling together for the Opens that year. We were all staying together. I said, hey, at night, we all get together. This is every night. We all sit around, we eat dinner, we have a beer, and we just talk. We just talk fishing. Every night this goes on, every single night. I was like, how about we just put up a camera and film this? I'll never forget, Andrew was like, dude, the lighting sucks, this is bad, like you can't see. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. I mean, we're sitting outside in some bad shaded and some bad lighting and bad all this stuff. And we just talked about, like we talked like we normally would, regardless if the camera was on or off. And I was like, I think people want to see that. I think people want to hear that. Maybe not everyone, but some do. So many times when fishing is going on, or the live is going on and they know they're live, they go into this, it's not fake. It's forced. It's a forced way of talking, right? And it's not bad, it's not horrible, but it's not exactly real either. It's close to being real, but it's not real. I forget who it was, but on day one, it was a guy fishing down south, and he was fishing, and Carl Jacobson was like trolling around him. And he was trolling around him like they were both fishing the same spot. I'm not saying the same spot. It's irrelevant, that part. It was just he was in the screen. They were talking about him a little bit, and he was moving around. And they were talking, the commentators were talking, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, this fisherman, forgive me, I forget who it was, and Carl Jacobson started talking. The fisherman that was talking before was doing a good job. But when he started talking to Carl, that's when it became real. It was a different conversation, a different emotion, a different way they talked to each other. And it was like, they were like talking about, like, what's the deal over here? Da, da, da. And it was like them, like, I can't believe this is going on or whatever. And they were like, talking. I do this all the time. Like when fishermen pass each other sometimes, and it's one of those days, and it's been like one of those tough days, like where things aren't going your way. And you're like, I've had like 2 bites. You're like, oh my gosh, me too. And it's like that connection you get with someone of it's a tough day, it's hard to get bit, and you're so much more willing to talk. That's true. That's not you putting on a show. That's like real. And you're trying to you feel good that someone next to you is struggling too. That talk to me is what I want to listen to. Because it was real. It wasn't for the TV. And what was bad was the TV, the camera got away from them. Like it viewed off of them and the sound faded away of them talking. And I'm going, guys, that was it. That was the conversation you stay on. Tell me if I'm wrong. Someone in Bassmaster, someone in there, in the entire scheme of their company, they have to realize that's what we want, right? Am I the only one? Like, that was the realest part about the entire stuff, was that happening. Not made for TV. That was actual them. As fishermen, that's a big ask for some of these guys to try to figure that out. I think YouTube has helped me. I think watching this stuff, I think listening to myself and watching where I've done bad, and then listening to what people actually want, like listening to their comments. I think I've gotten better as years have gone on from being in front of the camera and then talking to the camera what I think people want, right? Because what I thought people wanted at first wasn't always right. I've had to like kind of adapt of like, okay, this is how I'm going to do things. And I think I've been able to get better at that. So like, I understand this isn't just easy, and you're on live and you're trying to do what I did. You're trying to give them what you think people want, but I'm telling you, good or bad. Now, sometimes people are on there and do the whole fake thing. I'm not the big fake guy. But it's just a wonderful day to be out here. Look at this beautiful sunrise, and we get to fish out here. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. I mean, no offense, but if I heard I feel that way sometimes, but not when the camera's on me. When I'm by myself out there and it's dead quiet and no one's around, I might look around going, this is pretty awesome. I don't say it out loud. I just look around. I'm like, man, this is pretty awesome day, right? There's no one around. Like, you're completely silent. It's dead out there. There's nothing around. Then I might think that. But when the camera's rolling and you catch it, man, I just get to really do this for a living and look at this beautiful sunrise, and we're gonna have a great day out here. Man, what? I'm sorry. And some people might just roast me in the comments right here. Oh, they probably feel that way. Man, they knew the camera was on. I bet you they didn't say all that when the camera was off. I bet you they didn't say all that. Like, I'm just telling you, I just don't meet very many people like that. We might all get like that, but I've been fishing around a ton of people. People don't talk like that. They talk like that when the camera's on, but not when it's off. And I think people like people want to hear that. Man, fake people want to hear that. I want to hear the real stuff. So I don't know if this is a thing to Bassmaster and about what they need to try to capture more, and a little bit to the fishermen going, hey, cut the fake BS stuff out. Get out there and just be real, good or bad. Hey, listen, there's consequences for being real. You might get out there and you might get hated on a little bit, You might not realize that this is how you are. Maybe it's a good way to watch back how you are on camera. I don't know if some of these guys are doing that. I have to do that constantly because I have to edit things. Just my suggestion to Bassmaster and the anglers on how to make live in what we're viewing a little bit more real, more entertaining. And I don't want to have to listen to the commentators so much. I want to listen to some of the fishermen. That's my thought. What do y'all think?